Hey, good morning, folks. Got to bed early last night and ended up waking up at 5 o'clock this morning and watching TV, drinking my coffee, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Today is supposed to be a great day on the lake. The water and the wind is from the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, like low 80s. And I'm like, why am I not fishing right now? So, yeah. Getting things ready. I'm going to go down and fish for a few hours. We got a busy day today with the grandkids and the kids coming over, going to the islands, having some fun. But I'm going to go knock out a few hours of fishing, see what we can get. See you on the water. Down here at the boat, I'm waiting for my Garmin to update. It's very overcast right now. The sun is actually up. You can't really tell over there because of the clouds. But it is up, and as soon as this update is done, we will be heading out and see what we can find today. Folks, I know we're cruising to our first spot, but look at that. That is a sunrise on Lake Erie, and that's one of the reasons why I come out here in the mornings like this. Just an unbelievable sight to watch. And you don't really think about it, but even in just a few minutes, that sun will be all the way up over the lake, and it's just spectacular in the mornings like this. Even with the clouds, you can still see that sun coming up. Hopefully the GoPro is picking up the spectacular lighting on this, but I can tell you it is just unbelievable. Well, I'm going to keep the camera pointed on that. We're basically heading east, so we'll watch that sun come up as we get to our first spot. So we're here at the first spot. And it looks like the walleye and the fish are down in that 20 to 30 foot range. So we're going to put some things down. The plan for today is 2 dipsy divers, one on each side, and a jet 50 or a true trip 50 down on the inside. And it's a little bit more windy than I thought today, but good walleye chop, as they say, and we'll see what we can get. Alright, just getting stuff set up here. Getting the rod holders ready. And you'll notice here, on this side I got all my gear on the tool caddy. And then on this side, I got the new one that I put here. We're going to go with Wonder Bread on this outside until it tells me, the fish tell me they don't want it. But I will say this chop is going to make for an interesting trip to Kelly's today. Hopefully the wind and everything calms down a bit. It's not bad, but for fishing. But when you're trying to get people to the islands, it can be a little interesting. I'm going to loosen this up. For some reason that is like super tight. Even with this chop. It's a little bit more than I want. Let's check the nav here. Yeah, we're doing okay, but I'm going to increase the prop just a little bit. The waves here are pushing me quite a bit. And we're only going at 195, so I got to really jack up the RPMs here. Let's go to 610, see what that gets us. See if that can keep us on course. I don't know if you can see here, the waves are coming at me from the south this way, and so it's pushing the boat as we go into them a little bit. They're hitting me on the side. I don't know, we might get tripped on this one. These waves are a bit more than I thought, but we'll be all right. It's not unsafe, I just think I'm gonna be resetting dipsy divers and true trips before I get it right. All right, got some NASCAR on here for the True Trip 50. Up, you can see right there that waves tripped that dipsy. So I'm gonna leave these pretty tight today. What in the freaking hell? How did that get in that O-ring? Are you serious? All right. So we're gonna set this down and we're gonna get this dipsy reset, so at least I got a rod fishing before I deal with that. So with these waves, I'm gonna have to tighten it back up a little bit. Should have just left it where it was. Holy cow. That's a pretty stiff south wind, I will say that. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but the stupid line got in the O-ring here. And the way you get this out is you take your line and you find where the edge is, and you take it and you stick it on the edge like that, and then you just kind of thread it through, similar to the way you do a hook. You just keep threading it through till it pops out, and then you're back in business again. All right, now we can finally get this thing out in the water. I don't even know if you guys can see this, but man, some of these swells here from the south are a bit stiff. You can see the edge of the boat there rocking. That's a bit more of a walleye chop than I was looking for today, for sure. All right, on this side, we're gonna try this antifreeze till it tells me otherwise. All right, we're still set there really good. Get the rod extended. Oops, don't have this going. Get this out. There we go. All right. Now the reason I'm going with the dipsy on this other side here is because I was running a True Trip 40 on the inside, and I'm thinking I need to get them away from the boat a little bit because the bite has been hugely slowed recently, and I'm trying to get the lures away from the boat, and the dipsy divers will do that. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but it's already tripped with these waves. I gotta set these things super tight today. So I get to try out the new setup. I don't have to run to the other side to grab the tools. That's nice. That's definitely a nice touch. Just do it all right here. I love it. It's a good 30 bucks I spent to get that thing going on this side. All right, I got all the rods out. Finally. Keep tripping. The fish are still down there. So I think we're in the right depth. Well, I thought I did, and we just got hit by a giant
side wave and it tripped this side, so not gonna happen. Wow. I might have to change my direction here, my plan, and head in with the waves, because this is a way more than I thought today. These swells coming in from the south are just beating me up. Let's see how close to being on track I am. Let's see how much. It's not bad. So I finally got the prop and the engine. I'm still only going at 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I can take much more of that. You know, you'd think I'd figure this out by now, but the answer is no. We got a fish on here and I don't have the net ready, and the waves are crazy as shit. So let's see if we can get situated and get a fish in the boat. I don't know what it is, but it's on I think it's on the NASCAR True Trip 50, and we got a Mr. Walleye making its first appearance. All right, folks, if I had the net extended, I wouldn't have to bring them up so close, but we got them in the boat. We'll call that a win for the day. All right, let's take a look at him real quick. He's about 16 or so inches. Not bad. All right, and there he goes. Let's get this net situated. So I don't have to deal with that again. Looks like the dipsy on this other side is tripped. Let's go check that out. Put this rod down and see if we got a fish on this other side. I'm guessing it's the waves. This is getting pretty insane. But you never know. Could be a fish. No, it wasn't tripped. Interesting. Looked like it was. All right, we'll reset, get it back out there. All right, I'm gonna switch this antifreeze out for this. I've had intermittent luck with that early in the morning or when it's really cloudy. I don't have a rhyme or reason for it, but I've made that note. Let's see if we can trigger something, but I will say this. With these waves, the way they are, it's making it very difficult to figure out if these are tripped or not, because they're bouncing all over the place. We're going to set this back out to 98. All right, this one looks a little strange here, so we're going to see if there's something on it. It wasn't tripped, but I saw the tip doing some odd dancing that I didn't like. So let's see if we got anything on here. I don't feel anything, but we'll check it anyway, see if we're not dragging something. Nope, it's on the outside there. Wow, getting blasted. All right, folks, I've made the executive decision here that we're going to turn into going with some of these waves. We're going to make a little bit of a turn because I'm getting beat up here and it's tripping every damn thing. So we're going to see if we can smooth out this ride a little bit. It's probably going to trip on the starboard side there, but that's okay. I'm turning a little bit and I can already feel that it's starting to get there. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can try this for a little bit. So again, this is what I was talking about on another video, where the wind is coming from this direction here. It's coming from the south, and you can see these swells coming in with that 15 to 19 wind, and it's pretty significant swells here, a couple footers at least. All right, I'm not quite turned into the wind as much as I want, so we're going to turn a little bit more. I usually do it in 5-degree increments. I got my heading here. It says 80 degrees right now. I'm going to turn a little bit more into having the waves push me a bit and get that smooth. Maybe a little bit more. Let's go 75. Surprisingly, that starboard one didn't get tripped. I totally thought it would with the way these waves are right now. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, we're definitely smoothing this sucker out. I can see another boat out here in the distance. They're pointed in the same direction I am now, so they're doing the same thing, and that boat's way bigger than mine. Like I said this morning, I wasn't even really planning on going out today, but it's one of those things where if you can get out, because we have a short season here. It goes from, I'd say, mid-April to middle of October, roughly, and that's it. I mean, unless you're a cold weather person or can deal with some of the weather, I'm not. That's basically our fishing season. So if you wake up in the morning and you're sitting there drinking your coffee and watching TV and the weather looks halfway decent, get your ass off the couch and go fishing. All right, we're gonna check this one. It's got like a huge bend in it. Nope, it wasn't tripped, but this thing is bent way more than it should be. But again, these waves are making it real difficult. And I have them set so hard that pretty much nothing's gonna trip it. I'm gonna have to trip it myself. I'm just gonna have to watch for the bite. All right, folks. So we got one in the boat. I made a pass up where I wanted to fish. We got one. And as I mentioned earlier, it's pretty rough out here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reel everything in. I'm going to go back down to where I started, and this time I'm going to turn and I'm going to come with the wind to try to smooth out this ride a bit. These are some of the tactics that you need to use whenever you have a rough day like this. Yeah, I could continue going in this direction and get the shit beat out of me, but not going to do that. I don't have a lot of time today, so let's get these rods reeled in, and we'll go reposition ourselves and see if we can have a smoother second pass. All right, folks, that was a pretty bumpy ride back here to where I'm at now, but I'm pointed into the wind somewhat, and it's definitely smoothed out quite a bit. I'm not gonna make more than this one pass unless I start catching a boatload of fish, but we'll stay on this heading and see how it goes. All right, this one had a suspicious tip shake, and because I got the dipsies and the true trip set really tight, we're gonna check it. I don't think there's anything on it, but we'll check it regardless. I'm pointed more into the wind, and it really smoothed out the ride quite a bit. Nope, nothing on here. But on days like this, got to get that positioning correct, or you're gonna get beat up pretty good. All right, let's get this reset and get it back out. You know what? It's been a while. Wonder Bread hasn't done much. Let's go see if we can find something else. All right, we're gonna try this for a little bit. Took off that Wonder Bread. It's a little bit bigger. I don't think I've ever used this particular spoon, so we'll give it a go. Not catching anything on the normal stuff, so why not? Again, whenever you're letting this out and you got an inside rod, you want to make sure that it's planing out so you don't catch that inside line. All right, looks like we got tripped on this side. Let's see what we got going on. I think it's just a trip from maybe the waves or whatever. Yep. All right, that's how it's going today. Let's get this reset. Let's see if we can get on the fishing. So it feels like we got tripped here on the True Trip 50. Can't tell if we got something, but I think so. Oh, and it's a Mr. Walleye, so we'll take it. That's a good sign. Yeah. All right. Let's get on the NASCAR. Might switch these others out. NASCAR's the only one producing today. It's about an 18-inch walleye, not bad. Let's get him back in the water. See if we can get another one. Go. So this hasn't produced anything this morning. NASCAR is really the only thing that I've caught a fish on, so we're going to switch this over to something that's pretty close to it. I'm going to put chicken wing on. And I could put another NASCAR on, but let's put one of these UV chicken wings on right here. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at what this looks like. So it's similar to NASCAR, but a little bit different pattern, and this is the UV version, so it's a little bit more reflective. Not that there's a lot of light out here today. But yeah, let's see if we can trigger something, switching it up a little bit. All right, we caught that other walleye down deep. I had it at 61 on the True Trip 50. That's at 35 feet, so we're gonna go down pretty deep on this. I'm gonna say 98 on this dipsy. I don't know if you guys can see that out there, but there's probably 4 or 5 boats, and we're all pointed in the same direction with the wind. And there's actually a boat coming towards me on the right there, and they're probably doing what I did earlier, where they're boating back to a point further south, and then they're gonna have a path to the north with the wind, because trying to turn around and go into these waves today, that's not going to be a decent ride. So let's take a look back here. You can see these rollers coming in from the south right there. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but some of these are pretty big, like this one coming right now. That's why I got to set these dipsies and True Trips pretty tight. If I was going to the side or into these things, I would be bouncing all over the place and resetting the gear pretty much every couple minutes, unless I had them set almost down to nothing. On days like this, where you gotta be a little bit more tactical in how you position your boat and how you fish, wind, waves, definitely a factor. Look at that one over there. That one's pretty big. So even pointed into the wind, some of these behaviors on the tips of the rods are really hard to read. So like on this one, I'm seeing it jerk like this. On a smoother day, that would indicate a bite, but today, not so much. Let's get this reset and get it back out there. See if we can pick up a couple more. I'm seeing them on the scope. They're down there about 30, 35-ish. All right, we're definitely tripped over here. Again, it's hard to read the bite. Let's see if we got something on here. Doesn't appear like it is, but maybe we do. Let's see. I switched this one to chicken wing, and yeah, we got something on here. All right, that's a good sign. Let's see if it's something we're looking for. Can't tell yet, hasn't come up. Yeah, that's a Mr. Walleye. So let's mark that. See if we can get him in the boat. I'm really liking this longer net, by the way. I don't have to bring him in as close. If I was keeping them, that's 4 for today. Grab that spoon, and that's on chicken wing. Get that spoon out of the way. All right, let's take a look at this guy. He's small. He's probably barely 15, maybe 16. All right, get him back in. See if we can get another one. Oh, he's gone. As soon as he hit the water, he was down deep. I definitely saw the trip there, so that's working. I figured we'd get better marks and better bites once we got into a little bit deeper water. We're in about 42 foot of water. All right, looks like we got a bite over here on the 50. Let's take a look at this. This is definitely tripped. Yeah, we're on. All right, we are into some fish here. Let's see what we got on this one. This is on NASCAR again. On that dipsy over there, that was a chicken wing, which is similar. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, another walleye, folks. All right, he is in the net. That's a pretty decent size one there. Yeah, that one's probably 1920. All right, let's get you unhooked, get you back in the water, take a look at you, and get you on your way. Come on, I'll get you back in a second. There you go. Not bad. Get you back in. All right, folks, that was a good two good walleye there. So let's get these reset and see if we can get a couple more before I gotta head in. It's about 9 o'clock. I gotta start heading in probably about 10 to start getting ready for the beach day, even though it's kind of cloudy out. We're still gonna give it a go. Everybody wants to go to the beach. Let me get this hook out and get everything reset, see if we can get another one. Yeah, we're definitely seeing better marks. Take a look here. That's definitely some better fish on the sonar, so we're doing good. Oh, we're tripped over here. Let's see if we got another one. Nah, tripped on its own. Let's reel this in and see if we can get it back out there. So yeah, I think I'm on again.
How many have you gotten so far today?
6. This will be 7 if it's a walleye. There's something on there for sure. Here, let me turn it. I was just getting ready to reel up because I got to go in and get gas. We're going out to the island for the day. Oh yeah, it's a walleye. Oh my God, it's a big one. Holy cow. Oh yeah, it's huge. Hold on. I got to mark it. Might lose them, but holy cow, this is huge. Wait till you see this thing. Here, look at this thing.
Oh, Jesus. That's a pretty fast fish.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's get a measure on them. I haven't measured anything today because they weren't that big. 24. That's a good one. I'm not keeping them today, so we're letting them all go. Caught it on chicken wing. All right. Well, that's a bit of excitement there towards the end. Not sure if you can see it over there, but the sailboat club has something going on off of Cedar Point. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can go over there and we'll take a pass around so I can get a better look. I don't want to get too close there because of the winds, and sailboats always have the right of way out here on the lake. But pretty neat. You get to see Cedar Point, and then you get to see all the sailboats out here. And to be honest, this isn't very many sailboats. There's been times where I'm in the bay, which is on the other side of Cedar Point, and there's probably 3 times this many sailboats in the bay there. All right, folks, we're here at the end. I ended up with 8 today. I didn't film every single one of them, especially here at the end. I was reeling in the rods and I caught 3 on one on every rod, bringing them in. So as I was bringing in the one on the starboard side, fish. So I was bringing the one in, the dipsy on the outside, fish. And while I'm bringing in that one and getting the rod all put away, fish on the Jet 50. So we finished the day with 8. Again, I wasn't keeping anything, but you know what? I'll take what the lake gives me and be happy with it. So see you on the next one.